What is up, everybody? Welcome back to I Want Entertainment. We are here, episode 2. We're with a castaway from the Perla tribe, Bill. Bill, what's on your mind? Confess. I do have a few questions, but confess for me.
Hi. Well, week one was really fun, or day one, I guess. I keep saying week like it's Big Brother. Day one, night one was really, really fun. I am so happy that I'm on the tribe that I'm on. We have a tribe of really responsible people. I was really nervous at the start because I didn't really know too many of them because I was gone for the first couple of days of the game. So to start getting to know them a little bit more, I realized that I mean, I don't know much about the other tribes, but just knowing a little bit about the personalities present, I have a feeling that we're probably the most chill tribe, or maybe I just think we're the most chill tribe and no one's talking to me. But like our tribe chat is like decently active, and like we all seem to really enjoy each other, and we all seem to work really well together, and everyone seems to be like busy in their personal lives, but makes a little bit of time for the game and at least checks in with everybody every day. So that's really, really cool. I've really been enjoying getting to know everybody on my tribe. I still think that Brandon and Sam are probably like my top two. So I'm hopeful that the three of us can kind of really work together and run some things on this tribe. I think it's wild that Emily got picked to go to the fortune teller twice. She did tell us that her tarot card could have had something good, something bad, or nothing. And in the first round, she said that her tarot card had nothing. We all have no idea if she's lying or not. I mean, I'm kind of like, why would you lie about it? But saying nothing is also really easy. No one, I think, is really going to question that. I do think it's wild that she's going twice. So hopefully she can get something good. Or I hope if she does get in a disadvantage, it's not a disadvantage for the tribe and it's just a disadvantage for her, like losing a vote or whatever. I mean, I guess that could be a disadvantage for the tribe, but it would have been cool to go to the fortune teller. So I'm a little bummed I didn't get to go and that someone got to go twice, but it's all luck of the draw. We're really just kind of randomly picking numbers. I don't think there's like a rhyme or reason or strategy to these fortune teller picks. So I'm not going to put too much weight into it, but everybody seems really, really cool. And, we made a Google Doc for our first tribal competition, and we really kind of like listed everything that everybody said, everything that everyone was wearing, the ways that their rooms were decorated. And while we were doing the competition, that made it really easy to kind of recall information. I studied everyone's like names and locations and ages. So I had all of that like ready to go. And then of course the questions I got were like, how many paintings are on Jess's wall and what color are Maddie's headphones? And I'm like, oh, okay, great. Like the things that I didn't study at all, even though we were warned to. But you know me, I like read one sentence and think I understand the whole tribal and don't read the rest. So I'm happy that my tribe really created this hard hitting. I mean, there was like nothing else to add to this Google Doc by the time it got to my iteration. So we killed it. We got 21 out of 24 points. And I was really, really nervous going into tribal or leading up to tribal when the results are going to get reviewed because I was gone for the first 2 days and then like really kind of took like a mental health de-stress sleep day last Sunday. I really didn't get a chance to make as many rounds as I wanted to. And I know Izzy was not really around the first 2 days either and got quite a few wrong during the competition. So Izzy and I were quite nervous that it was going to come down to either one of us to get eliminated. But luckily for us, we blew the competition out of the water and we didn't have to go to tribal. So that was really wonderful. We all hopped on call and took a shot to celebrate, blah, blah, blah. And while I don't know the results for this tribe, I do think that we partnered up each other really well. I worked with Sam. She did really good at describing the images. I feel like I did a decent time drawing these things blindfolded, although you could argue that our sunglasses looked like a microbe or some kind of elemental thing combining. It looked like a germ and like, I don't know, like an atom and a nucleus. But Emily said she got 10 out of 10 correct with all of the drawings. So whatever I drew and however everybody else drew must have worked really well in our favor. I have a feeling that we probably got the best score. I mean, I don't know if I would have gotten 10 out of 10 of those. So going into tribal tonight, I'm not as nervous as I was last time because I just assumed everyone was going to study as much as we did or create a Google Doc like we did. And after kind of like looking over the results, I do think that our tribe was a little bit more prepared than the other tribes. But I think that this one could go in a bunch of different ways. You know, I think people really suck at drawing. There was that hand-eye coordination element on there. If you get someone who's bad at communicating something, they weren't going to be able to get their person to draw well anyways. And I think, you know, one person guessing all of the images is just difficult in it of itself. So the fact that Emily did so well, that we all kind of felt good about our partnerships going into the competition, gave me a little bit of confidence to really just put all of my trust into Sam and, you know, hope that Emily is going to get it right. So I think we worked well together as duos. I think we're still working well together as a tribe, and I'm hopeful that we're safe again tonight. But if not, I guess I got to make a couple more rounds because even though I didn't talk to anybody really for the first couple of days, I haven't really talked to anybody that much more in the days past the first few days of the game. So I'm always nervous when I play these things. I never feel safe. I always feel like I'm on the chopping block, but I hope that I made strong enough connections with the few people that I did that we could at least be seen as kind of like a voting chunk or share each other information. And in the event that we do go to tribal tonight, I would hope it's not me, but I don't think we're going. I'm very confident that we won, that we're going to be safe again. And I'm very much looking forward to my tribal shot tonight at 9 p.m.
How was it working with Sam in that challenge? I remember having a few giggles as y'all were participating.
Oh my God, I could not stop laughing. Every time she would tell me to do something, I would like smile and laugh because like, I don't know, like when someone says, okay, take your finger and draw to the right, you like know what that means, but then your hand goes like all the way up or all the way down or in the complete opposite direction. Something about not having your eyes really made this competition difficult. But out of everyone on the tribe, you know, through their videos, the Meet Me videos, the working together as a tribe in the last competition, and just the one-on-one conversations I've been having, Sam is the person I feel the most comfortable with. She's the person that I feel like I connect the most with. And while Brandon and I share similarities with being teachers and working in academia, Sam and I feel like just have like those fun vibes, those energetic vibes. She's just someone that like I feel gravitated to. And the fact that I didn't even get to pick her as my partner was icing on the cake. I don't remember if I was around for those conversations. I think we all kind of just talked about the times that we were available. And my times, I guess, matched Sam's. So the fact that somebody else paired us together was really, really awesome for me because I don't want people to know how much I love Sam and how much I enjoy talking to her. So I got to work with the person that I feel like I work with the most on the tribe, and I didn't have to pick that person. So I was very happy to hear that I got Sam. And I know like just after last tribal alone and how dedicated she was to creating that Google Doc, I know how detail oriented she was. And just being a communication scholar, I'm decent at listening. I'm a little bit more better at listening for content to like learn something. I'm a lot less good at listening to people's emotions. I don't consider myself to be an empathetic person. When people start getting really emotional around me, I like shut down and laugh and like walk away. So I knew that like having Sam serve as the communicator and me as the drawer was going to be really well because I'm just naturally tuned in to listen for specificities, to listen for logic, to listen for direction, to listen for content. So I knew that our strategy of try to get me to guess what the image was going to be really, really good because I trusted that she was going to use as few words as possible, speak eloquently, and really get me to figure out what it was I was drawing so I'd be able to understand the direction she was making my finger go in. So I was really happy to be partnered with Sam. I felt really comfortable. I felt really confident. I think had I been partnered with anybody else, there would have been this illusion of doubt maybe. But I had no doubt in my mind that Sam was going to lead me to all the right places. So I thought our drawings were decent. But they were quite funny when I would remove my blindfold and look. I'm like, oh, that's what you were trying to tell me what to do. So I was laughing the whole time. It was a fun challenge, one I never thought of. So good job, Prod.
Glad you enjoyed it. It was definitely fun on our end to host it. So, and it was actually our first time doing it. So, yeah, I think we
So
have
we
a
were
new
your
one
guinea
in
pig.
our little artillery. Um, So yeah, so you discussed first challenge, y'all had 21 points. You ate the competition up, first place Perla. This challenge, you have a 10 out of 10. So unless all the other tribes do just as amazing, how do you feel about your shot to be safe tonight?
I do feel safe. And I know that the second somebody says that, they're the person voted out. But like, I also don't understand. Maybe I missed it in the rules, but I'm not sure how a tiebreaker would work. Maybe
Mhm,
Emily had a tiebreaker question. I
mhm. Yeah, she did.
so Emily's played enough of these games where I think she has a good read on a lot of the players. So in the event that other tribes also get a 10 out of 10, I have faith that her tiebreaker question is good, even though I do think she kind of lowballed them last time. I'd have to go and tally up all of the points. I think I might have highballed everybody, but I think she was like, oh, 30. I'm like, oh, damn, you like really don't trust the other tribes. So maybe that's like the antithesis of what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm not privy to that information. So I'm confident that this ragtag cast of loopy doopy people aren't going to guess all 10 out of 10. And if there are tribes that got 10 out of 10, I do have faith that Emily got a good tiebreaker question. In the event that we lose the tiebreaker question and go to tribal, of course, I'm nervous that I'll get eliminated. I mean, I just don't think I've made strong game connections with people. I've been talking a lot about like life and what you do for work and just kind of like fun vibes, which I always, when I play these things, try to be like the fun person that everybody wants to keep. But when you're in a tribe of six, talking game and strategy is quite important and usually starts really, really soon. So my goal today throughout the day is to really start having like game conversations that don't come across too strong with others, because I am worried that if another tribe does happen to get 10 out of 10 and we lose the tiebreaker question, we're going into tribal knowing that we did everything that we possibly could to win, working really well together, and we're back to square one. Unlike last time where there were a couple people who didn't get all four of their questions right, everyone did good enough to get Emily to guess all of her images. So there really is no like one person challenge wise to write a name down for. So it's really going to come down to personal connection. So I just need to make sure that I check back in with Sam and Brandon and ensure that we're still good, at least personably with each other. Emily and I were talking, not in depth, but enough the past couple of days, how we don't want to write each other's names down. So that really only leaves Juan and Izzy as two viable options for me, both people of which I really enjoy talking to. But they're just two people that I haven't made a personal connection with as much as I have with Emily, Brandon, and Sam. But I'm sure that they're in their confessional saying the same thing about me. So I do want to get to know them a little bit, but it is hard with a tribe of six because if you make strong connections with everyone, the guilt to vote someone out is even bigger. And I guess the way that I play these games is to keep my team of people close, but I always have two or three folks that I'm not as close to that I can push a vote on that won't make me feel bad at the end of the day for getting rid of a friend. And right now, I do feel like I'm in a tribe of friends, but I do have some best friends and I do have some, social friends. And if I were to go to tribal right now, I'd probably vote for one of my social friends to go home, that being Juan or Izzy. But I'm hopeful that we don't have to go to tribal council, that we will win again. And I've never been on a tribe that has won or that hasn't gone to tribal in the first two rounds. So 8 out of 10 survivor games that I've played, I've been at the first tribal, and then 2 out of the 10, I've been at the second. So this being my, I think, 11th survivor game, I'm like, oh, let's break a record and break this curse because I've never not gone to tribal 2 rounds in the first 2 rounds of the game. So I'm hopeful that I can check that off my org bucket list and keep getting to know these people and not having to vote any of them out.
You answered my next question, which was the wrap up, like where does Bill go from here? But you kind of detailed that.
Wow.
Rachel, did you have any questions at all that you wanted to ask Bill?
He also kind of answered mine because I was going to say, you said you felt good with Sam and Brandon. I was going to ask who, if you had to go to tribal, who you would be voting out. So
I'm a speech teacher. I guess I can see the questions coming, and I just
You
Yes.
can,
a lot of
So
detail,
good.
which that's another reason why I really don't want to go to tribal, because I'm kind of good at tribal council questions. Like, I answer in like similes and metaphors. And like when I played this live game, they were like, "What's the game like now?" And I'm like, you know what? Slider puzzles are such an integral.
Oh yeah, you kind of said that in one of your confessionals that like the Survivor game you played, you kind of got voted out because like you were too
Yeah.
good at tribal.
Yeah, I made it all the way to the final 5 in my LRG that I played. And like the reason why, and of course I got like triple idled out with a legacy advantage, but the person
Oh my
voting
god.
Oh
for
God.
it was wild. It was crazy. I totally deserved to go at final 5. I mean, like I should have won the game, but I get why they took me
That
out
was
at
me
final
last
5.
season.
But like, yeah, like the reason that she gave was like, she had a really great story to tell in the end. And I had a really great story to tell in the end. But the way that I communicated my game throughout all of the tribal councils that we went to was, I think, a lot more eloquent and a lot more literary than most of the people I played with. And I remember getting to the jury and they were all like, "You were going to win just based off of your answers at tribal alone. We all knew who you were and why you were playing the game." And they were like, "Oh my God, your analogy about the slider puzzles was perfect. I felt before." So like, I had to be careful. I want to avoid tribal because I don't want these people to know how well spoken I can be with these questions. And I also know going into tribal that I shouldn't answer them that well, but I am such a Sagittarius fire sign that like, I want all eyes on me all of the time. So I know I shouldn't be as eloquent. I know I
Hey
shouldn't be
Rocky.
well spoken. But I do it anyways because like I'm here for the fans and I want the people who are watching me to enjoy me. And I also want the people in the jury to not have any doubt in their mind. I want them to know that they want me to win before we even get to that final tribal council. I want my game communicated to them before we even get there. And that's a very dangerous line to toe. You want to be eloquent, you want to answer these questions really well, and you want everybody to kind of get little bits and pieces of your game so it doesn't sound like you just made it up in the end. But you're also giving other people the pebbles of the rock that you're shattering for your final speech to collect and to gather along the way. And they might piece that rock back together with all their little pebbles before you can even present that nice, shiny, crystallized rock to the jury in the end. And that's usually what happens to me at tribal council. I give away too much. So I hope that we win. One, because I don't want to be in jeopardy. And two, I don't want to have to answer questions because they just come out like word vomit and I can't stop how awesome I am at public speaking. And it's a major reason for people to vote me out of the game because nobody wants to be sitting next to someone in the end who talks really well.
You should have coached me for my final 2 because I literally lost the game because I was fumbling over my words.
Oh no.
Yeah, Bill, I'm good on this confessional. If there's anything else you want to add, feel free. It might spark another question.
Still hoping that we can see Jess or Maddie or Sam, you get voted out soon. I don't want to have to play with them. So I'm really hoping that one of their tribes loses and that they can be eliminated. But those 3 people do not strike me as someone who would be like a first vote or a second vote for their tribe. So I think that we're going to see them around for a little bit longer, but man, I'm still real nervous about those 3 players. So Survivor Gods, please let one of their tribes lose and please let one of them get 86 because I just need you to start doing a little bit more work for me. That's the last thing I want to say. And I'm sorry for the Sam and for the Maddie and for the Jess fans. I love them too. That's why they need to go.
Yeah, period. Oh, Bill, it's always good hanging out with you here. Hopefully there's many more of these confessional sessions to come.
Yes.
And I wish you the best. I may or may not see you tonight. And I can't wait to see you continue slaying and maneuvering through iSurvivor.
All right. Well, thank you for having me again. And as always, if this is my last tribal or if this is my last confessional, I've had a great time. Nice to meet you, Rachel. And